Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It is the second part of chapter number 3, Methods of Teaching English. In this part, we will learn about the structure, situation, model of teaching English. Structural situation method. It is an approach, theoretical positions and beliefs about the nature of language. As we have discussed earlier in the part 1, the nature of English language learning and the applicability of both to pedagogical settings is known as approach. This method is known as structural oral situational approach. This method came into being as an alternative to the direct method of teaching English. It is based on the assumptions that language can be learned through a scientific selection and grading of structure, patterns of sentences, and vocabulary. It is its difference from the direct method. According to Menon and Petal, the structural approach is based on the belief that in the learning of a foreign language, mastery of structure is important than the acquisition of vocabulary. They believe that the learner should have mastery on the structure of the language. According to Menon and Petal, it is based on the beliefs that learning a foreign language should be in the learning of the foreign language, learners should master in the structure first. Use techniques of direct method, but the use of translation is not fully rejected in this method. Meaningful words are used in particular order. Every structure embodies an important grammatical point. A sentence needs a grammatical background. The different arrangements or patterns of words are called structures. Here, words are used in particular order to convey their senses and meaning. In this way, structures are the tool of language and should not be confused with sentences. जिस तरह से ग्रामर ट्रांसलेशन मेथड में नेटिव लैंग्वेज का सहारा लिया गया था और डायरेक्ट डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशंस को निगलेक्ट कर दिया गया था, फिर डायरेक्ट मेथड में नेटिव लैंग्वेज को और ट्रांसलेशन को बिल्कुल निगलेक्ट कर दिया गया और टारगेट लैंग्वेज सिखाने के लिए डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन का सहारा लिया गया। इस मेथड में उन दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन नज़र आता है हमें। स्ट्रक्चरल सिचुएशन मेथड के अंदर स्ट्रक्चर्स को टारगेट लैंग्वेज के सिखाया जाता है, लेकिन इसमें ट्रांसलेशन को बिल्कुल निगलेक्ट नहीं किया जाता, जैसा कि डायरेक्ट मेथड में ट्रांसलेशन को निगलेक्ट कर दिया जाता है। फर्दर, इस मेथड के प्रोपोनेंट्स क्लेम करते हैं कि किसी भी टारगेट लैंग्वेज में मास्टरी अचीव करने के लिए उस लैंग्वेज के स्ट्रक्चर्स को सीखना, उसमें मास्टरी अचीव करना ज़रूरी है। According to Bringwinton, structural approach is a scientific study of fundamental structures of the English language, their analysis and logical arrangements. The structural approach to English is teaching the learner certain selected structures in a certain order. The different arrangement or patterns of words are called structure. Structure may be complete patterns or they may be a part of a language patterns. Language is viewed as structurally related elements of encoding of meaning. For the encoding of meaning, the elements being phonemes, morphemes, word structures and sentence type. एक लैंग्वेज के जितने भी पार्ट्स हैं, जितने भी उसके स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, पार्शियल स्ट्रक्चर्स, कंप्लीट स्ट्रक्चर्स, उनको सीखना, उन पे मास्टरी अचीव करना इस मेथड का मेन फोकस है। It can be dramatically represented as you can see in this picture. Language contains on the components sentence type, structure, words, morphemes and phonemes. Sentence type, for example, declarative sentence, negative, interrogative, structure for example through SV, SVO, sentence, verb, object, words, content words, apply, apple, joy, structure words, a, and, the, or. Next, for morphemes, smallest meaningful units of language, boy, girl, tree, tea. Phonemes, sounds of the language, the language of the sounds of the alphabets. Here are some principles of this method. It is based on the three main principles. Importance is given to students' activity rather than the activity of the teacher. In this method, importance is given to speech work and in developing correct language habits among the students, particularly the habits of arranging words in English in order to replace the sentence patterns of the pupil's mother tongue. Here are some aims of the structural method. The main aim of this method is to teach 4 fundamental skills of language learning, that are listening, speaking, reading and writing. It also enlarges the vocabulary of the students. It also enhances the vocabulary of the students. It correlates the teaching of grammar and composition with the lesson of the textbook. It improves and corrects pupils' speech habit. It makes classroom environment interesting and natural, and develops students' interest in creating meaningful situations because learning takes place in the situational context. It lays proper emphasis on the oral approach, active methods, and the condemnation of formal grammar for its own sake. It also enables the children to attain mastery over an essential vocabulary of about 3,000 root words for active use. The advantages include this approach can be adopted for all stages of education. It stresses habit formation through intensive drilling. The students cultivate the habit of speaking the English language. Due to much oral drilling, whatever is learned in the classroom remains stable in their minds. It provides enough opportunities to students to express their ideas and feelings and makes both teacher and students active, which is psychologically sound. It puts more emphasis on speech or oral aspects of learning. The students are provided with carefully selected and graded language material. Making the use of this method and approach, the teacher can attend to more or almost all students of his class. Along its advantages, there are some disadvantages also. It is suitable only in lower classes. Only well-selected sentence patterns can be taught through this approach. It is rarely successful in overcrowded classrooms. It neglects reading of all types. This approach does not take into consideration the fact that pupil is a learner. This approach needs specially planned textbooks and well-trained teachers to create appropriate environment for learning and language. Thus, this approach is based on the assumption that language learning is a matter of habit formation, which involves a lot of repetition and conscious drilling of the language items. Next one is the situational approach. This approach suggests that any language item, whether it is structure or a word, should not be presented in isolation. It has to be introduced and practiced in a context or situation. इस मेथड के प्रोपोनेंट ये क्लेम करते हैं कि कोई भी टारगेट लैंग्वेज जो है वो किसी न किसी सिचुएशन और कॉन्टेक्स्ट में सिखाई जाती है। In the situational approach, explanations are discouraged and the learner is expected to apply the language learned in the classroom to situation outside the classroom. और इस बात के ऊपर फोकस किया जाता है कि क्लासरूम में फॉर्मल सेटिंग में फॉर्मल रूल्स क्राइम करवाने की बजाय स्टूडेंट्स को आउट ऑफ द क्लासरूम सिचुएशंस प्रोवाइड की जाए, एक्टिविटीज़ प्रोवाइड की जाए, इस तरह की अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ उन्हें प्रोवाइड की जाए जिसमें वो लैंग्वेज को प्रैक्टिस कर सकें। By using situation, the use of mother tongue can be avoided. If the language item is given in the meaningful situations, the learner can deduce the meaning and context from the situation in which it is used. It indicates as how to teachers should create a real situation in the classroom. Now the question that arises is how these real situations can be created in the classroom. So it is the teacher's responsibility to maintain the situations related to target language in her classroom. According to this approach, it tries to solve this problem. A particular situation helps the teacher to provide practice to the pupils to explain its meanings. A particular situation may be created in the classroom by use of maps, pictures, various objects, actions, or by drawing on the blackboard. डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस क्रिएट करके टारगेट लैंग्वेज को सिखाना इस मेथड का मेन पर्पस है। और अब ये टीचर के लिए चैलेंज है कि टारगेट लैंग्वेज या फॉरेन लैंग्वेज जो वो स्टूडेंट्स को सिखाना चाहती है उससे रिलेटेड सिचुएशंस क्लासरूम में किस तरह से क्रिएट की जाएं, और उन सिचुएशंस को क्रिएट करने के लिए डिफरेंट मैप्स, पिक्चर्स, इमेजेस और एक्शंस, रोल प्लेस, ड्रामास और ड्राइंग्स इस पर्पस के लिए यूज की जा सकती हैं। According to this approach, the English as a second language should be taught by forming links between the new words and the real situations encountered by the child while learning their mother tongue. इस मेथड के प्रोपोनेंट ये क्लेम करते हैं कि मदर टंग में सिखाने की बजाय फॉरेन लैंग्वेज या टारगेट लैंग्वेज को रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन के साथ कनेक्ट करके सिखाया जा सकता है। All the items are learned by a child in real situations are long life learning. The situations in which the child learned his mother tongue are repeated again and again, and whatever the child understands or express about his experiences of his own life are then in same way connected with the terminology of the English language. So ऑलरेडी और इन एडवांस ही हम अगर सिचुएशन क्रिएट करके स्टूडेंट को टारगेट लैंग्वेज सिखा देते हैं तो मदर टंग की या उसकी नेटिव लैंग्वेज में उस टारगेट लैंग्वेज को ट्रांसलेट करने की ज़रूरत बाकी नहीं रहती। Here are some characteristics of situational approach. The new language items and vocabulary items are graded according to their usefulness, frequency and teachability. The language items thus selected and graded are presented and practiced in meaningful situations. Reading and writing are based on items which have already been introduced and practiced orally. New words क्लासरूम में इंसिडेंटली सिखाए जाते हैं। जैसे ही कोई इंसिडेंट अकर होता है स्टूडेंट्स के रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन से, एक्सपीरियंस से न्यू वर्ड्स जो से हैं वो सिखाए जाते हैं। डिफरेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ प्रोवाइड की जाती हैं स्टूडेंट्स को कि वो न्यू वर्ड्स को एसोसिएट कर सकें विद द क्रिएटेड सिचुएशंस, and lot of appropriate material is used to create proper all real situations. For example, if the teacher wants to teach the parts of a flower, she or he can show various pictures to the students depicting different parts of a flower. He may also write the names of the parts of the trees on this picture. First of all, he will explain orally only, and then the teacher may take the help of the pictures to make his teaching more effective and interesting. इस तरह से जो भी vocabulary का टारगेट लैंग्वेज का पार्ट हम स्टूडेंट को सिखाना चाहते हैं उसे हम डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट्स, ग्राफिक्स, इमेजेस के साथ जो है वो प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं। उन इमेजेस को, पिक्चर्स को इलस्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं, लेबल कर सकते हैं विद द एसोसिएट मीनिंग्स और वर्ड्स व्हिच वी वांट टू टीच द स्टूडेंट्स इन द टारगेट लैंग्वेज एंड मेक their understandings more clear and durable for their later use. Here are some advantages of this method. It creates interest of the students. It gives emphasis on learning by play, action and modeling and demonstration. Actions change make the classroom atmosphere lively. Students take interest when they learn by doing by their active participation. In this method, students learn by doing and learn in the real life situation that is too much interesting for them and arouse their interest and keep them motivated to learn the new words, vocabulary and target language. The teacher can make his illustrations clearly by using various interesting materials, for example pictures, graphics, images and different objects that also arouse the interest of the students. In this method, stress is given on learning through hearing. Here are also some disadvantages of this method. It is suitable only in the lower classes as this approach cannot be made applicable in the senior classes. Textbooks cannot be taught by this method. Only well-selected sentence patterns can be taught by this approach. Minimum make the classroom dull. Trained teachers are required for using this method. Prose, poetry, rapid reader, etc. cannot be taught through this approach. Sometimes it becomes difficult to relate the statement of the teacher with the created situation.